When we think of the Buddha, we often picture a serene figure embodying enlightenment and detachment. Yet, behind this transcendent journey lies a deeply human story, the story of Rahula, the Buddha's son. This is a tale of attachment, renunciation, and spiritual inheritance that offers timeless lessons for us all. In the Theravada tradition, Rahula's birth marked a turning point in Siddhartha's life. After witnessing the realities of aging, sickness, death, and the possibility of liberation, Siddhartha was deeply moved. On the same day, he received news of his son's birth. He famously said, "Rahula has been born, an attachment has been born." That very night, Siddhartha renounced his royal life, leaving his palace to seek the ultimate truth. 7 years later, Siddhartha returned as the Buddha, the perfectly awakened one. In the palace, a young Rahula approached him, encouraged by his mother Yasodhara, to ask for his inheritance. "O ascetic, please give me my inheritance." But this inheritance was not one of material wealth. The Buddha entrusted Rahula with a far greater legacy, the teachings of the Dhamma. He instructed Sariputta to ordain Rahula as a novice monk, setting him on a path of spiritual discovery. From the beginning, the Buddha tailored his teachings to Rahula's age and development. At just 7 years old, Rahula learned 2 essential lessons: the importance of truthfulness and the practice of reflection. The Buddha taught, an ascetic's life, devoid of truth, is empty and futile. These lessons guided Rahula's growth in discipline and wisdom. As Rahula grew, the teachings deepened. At 18, he received advanced meditation instructions, including mindfulness of breathing, contemplation of the 5 elements, and the cultivation of loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity. Through these practices, Rahula overcame youthful pride and developed profound spiritual insight. Upon his full ordination, the Buddha delivered teachings on impermanence, suffering, and non-self, by the end of which Rahula attained arahantship, a state of complete liberation. Rahula's spiritual journey is further chronicled in texts like the Rahula Samyutta and the Theragatha. These works reveal a young monk dedicated to discipline, humility, and learning. In the Theragatha, Rahula reflects on his good fortune, being both the son of the Buddha and a liberated being. His verses remind us of the impermanence of worldly attachments and the ultimate goal of spiritual freedom. Rahula's contributions were recognized long after his passing. Emperor Asoka honored him by constructing a stupa in Kudan, Nepal, cementing his status as a role model for novice monks. Rahula's life exemplifies the transformative power of the Dhamma, offering inspiration for all who seek truth. Though Rahula's life was brief, his journey as the son of the Buddha and an arahant embodies profound lessons. From a child seeking his inheritance to a monk achieving liberation, Rahula's story reminds us that the greatest wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the teachings of the Dhamma. Like Rahula, may we become heirs to the Dhamma and seekers of liberation. Having already experienced the pain of Siddhartha's renunciation, Buddha's father, King Suddhodana, felt deeply aggrieved when his grandson Rahula was ordained without his consent. His sorrow stemmed from a sense of loss, both as a parent and a grandparent. Suddhodana's plea was not merely personal, it expressed a broader concern for the emotional well-being of families whose members might join the Buddhist Sangha. The Buddha listened to Suddhodana's concerns and acknowledged the emotional toll such decisions could have on families. This led him to establish a rule that balanced the spiritual needs of individuals with the emotional and social ties of family life. The rule, part of the monastic discipline, Vinaya, stated that parental consent is required before ordaining a child or young person as a novice or monk,